Over those years, I've seen many that were where you are today, finishing your college training and headed out to play in a big game, the game of life. I believe there are a lot of similarities between the game of football and the game of life. In my career here as football coach, it was always fun to come up with a game plan, work hard all week putting that plan in, and then just prior to going out on the field, I'd always call the team together in the locker room, and I'd have a few last-minute pointers to give them and try to tell them the things that we needed to do to win the game. And it was so much fun to see the excitement and anticipation in their eyes as I'd give them those last tips for success. Today I have some of those same feelings as I look in your eyes as you head in the game of life after college. Just as I did with my teams, I have a few last-minute coaching tips that I'd like to give you. Also, like the players in those pregame talks, I know you're anxious to get the kickoff and get the game started, so I'll keep my remarks brief. First, let me assure you, you are well prepared for the game you're about to play. You've been instructed by one of the best faculties in the world. No one will be better equipped from a knowledge standpoint than you. However, I must be honest with you. That knowledge alone will not guarantee you a happy and successful life. I think there are other attributes that you must embody and other actions you must take to reach your fullest potential for happiness and success. These coaching points are simple, but I promise you they work, and they'll help you be successful as you move through life. And I can also tell you that our families, our corporations, our governments, our schools, and our society in general are in great need of young people that live with these principles. I know that you've been exposed to most of them before, but I want to mention one last time, I want to mention them to you before you go on the field. If I had to give you a title for this, I would call these coaching points for the game of life from an old gray-haired ball coach. Number one, don't think that you have to get the job for the rest of your life when you first seek employment. It may take you several times to get it right. Also remember, though, it's easier to get a job when you have a job. While looking for a job, don't put too high a priority on starting salary. Find something that you have a passion for doing and in an atmosphere where you can grow. If you're excited about doing your job, you will likely do it well. Do it well, and someone will be willing to pay you well for doing it. Number two, be honest in all your dealings. Make your word mean something. Trust is the basis for all relationships. Can I trust you? Is a powerful question. There can be no meaningful relationship without trust. Don't lie. If you tell one lie and get caught, and you usually will, then you will be a liar for a long, long time. And who wants an employee or an employer or a friend that's a liar? I was tested in this area when I was in college. There was some mischief in the dorm in which I was involved. We won't go into details. Two of my teammates. The coach called us to his office to question us about the involvement. We told him we were not involved and we didn't know anything about it. At that time, he said he would take us at our word, but we needed to understand that if it later came out that we were involved, we'd be off the team. Not for the instant, but for lying to him and violating his trust in us. He excused us, and we made it out to our car before I looked at my teammates and said, we better go back in there and tell Coach the truth. So we went back in, asked him if we could see him, and we admitted we were the culprits in the dorm. He said, I knew you were. I just wanted to see if you were liars too. I had to deal with some punishment, but I remained on the team, and he and I had a great relationship until his death 2 years ago. And I gave the eulogy at his funeral, and I told that story about the lesson I'd learned. Actually, I use that line about trust many times in my own career. When I bring players in, and it'd be something that had happened and I needed to get to the bottom of it, I'd always clear the air first and say, I'm not going to sit here, I'll take you for your word. You tell me what happened, I will tell you. But you need to understand, if you'll sit in that chair and look me in the eye and bold-faced lie to me, we can't have a relationship, and I can't be your coach, and you can't be on this team. I knew that worked because I had experienced it years before. Number 3, appreciate the worth in others. See the good in every person. Everyone has some good qualities. Give them credit for their good qualities, and if they have some areas where they need improvement, then help them get better in those areas. Treat others like you would like to be treated. If you're in a leadership role, which most of you will be at some time or another in your lives, you have every right to be demanding, but no right to ever be demeaning to another person. 4, have a standard of excellence in all that you do. Don't put your name on anything that's not your best work. Take pride in who and what you are. I could tell early if a young coach or young player, I could tell very early, freshmen come in here, and I could tell by the way he went about his work, I could get a pretty good picture of what he would be someday down the road. He may not know the technique, but I could tell it would hurt him when he lost a battle or dropped the ball or whatever. You could tell a whole lot about him. Each of you have been given a name, and you, by your actions, will determine the respect of that name. Give great effort in all that you can do. I used to tell the team, I still believe this, regardless of your ability, the one thing you can do, everybody can give good effort. And there's no reason not to have a bunch of guys flying around on the football field. And if you're working at whatever you're doing, you want to impress somebody, just work hard. That's a good starting point. 5, admit mistakes. Learn from them and move on. Play the next play. Our eyes are in the front for a reason. And leadership is not about never failing, but about learning from your failures and trying again. Through this process, you develop the strength of character to face adversity and not blink. 6, start each day, and this is really important. Start each day for the rest of your life being thankful for all that you have in your life. On this day, in particular, be especially thankful to those that have helped you get to this point in your life. Don't go through life just being a taker, but give back by helping others. The nice facilities and the great professors that you've enjoyed here on this campus and working towards your degree, they're here because of the caring and generosity of others who came here before you. They cared enough to give back to A&M to make it a better place for you. And I hope that you'll feel the same responsibility to help those that will follow you to A&M.